Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to be talking all about OnlyFans. So I did a video reacting to Charisma on Command's video about OnlyFans and kind of the psychology behind it, and I think it was insightful for talking a little bit more about why it works, why people buy into it, and like I said, just kind of the psychology and the idea behind it. But I didn't really give my opinion on OnlyFans necessarily, so I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit today, some of the pros and cons for men and women, and just kind of shed some light on the truth behind, you know, why I think sometimes it can be a little bit detrimental to mental health for men and for women. And I'm also going to show you guys an interesting clip that I found online of a girl who has done OnlyFans and was kind of talking a little bit more about it and shedding some light on the fact that it's not what it seems to be. And I think a lot of girls sign up for it thinking it's going to be one thing, and it ends up leading into something totally different and darker and farther along the road than they necessarily want it to be. So I'm gonna start by playing this little clip that I found online. This is a girl talking about her experience with OnlyFans and why it kind of led her down a darker path than she anticipated. So I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna kind of talk about the pros and cons and just my honest thoughts. And I'm going to be very honest. I'm not going to be judgmental. It's not my place, but I'm going to be honest. So let's play this video.
Rude awakening. I had an OnlyFans.
Okay.
For a month. I started just posting lingerie pictures. Okay. What people don't realize is that you're being programmed in that app because they're asking you for more. Just lingerie? No, take your top off. No nipple. Are you serious? And then you have the DMs. And through DM, you can say like, I'll send you this video if you pay $200. So you pay $200, I send you the private video. Yeah. So throughout the 1 month that I did it, I just didn't like it. Like, I just started getting guys like, hey, if you sell me a private picture, I'll send you $3,000. I'm like, $3,000. Maybe I won't do it the first time, right? I won't do it the first time. But let's say a year from now, I get asked this question many times. I'm already programmed into being like,
think of how many thousands
I would have made.
And where's the line? First it's new, then it's, well, where else would you go with this now? I
Every
paid
time.
$10,000 to meet up.
That is what I'm telling
To
you.
go on a date, whatever.
That is what I'm telling you. You get lost in it. Like, you might start, like we said, you start by just setting the picture. And then you end up $10,000 for meeting up, and then $20,000 to have sex. And now you're a prostitute, and you didn't even notice how you ended up there.
The reason I wanted to share this video is because I think it did a really good job just kind of shedding light on the fact that nothing is always what it seems, right? There's a price tag that comes with everything, you know, and I think women often see this very glamorized lifestyle of people in sex work or strippers or girls on OnlyFans. Specifically, OnlyFans is the one that I think is the most detrimental because it seems like it's innocent. It seems like you're just posting lingerie photos and making $1 million, but that's not the case. And the girls who say that are straight up lying. I've seen other videos of people exposing girls that are doing that as well. I'm just gonna be 100% transparent with you guys. OnlyFans and that whole industry is something that I would never dabble in at all. I would never find myself in that situation. My morals and values do not align with that. Not saying that it's necessarily the worst thing ever or a bad thing. It would be bad for me. I view it as bad, but my morals and values might be very different than the girl next to me, and that doesn't mean that it's bad for her or she thinks it's bad. So you kind of have to put it into perspective too, is like, you can only control what you do with your body. So I'm not gonna sit here and bash someone else for what they're doing with their body or how they're choosing to spend their money or make their money, because it's not my business. I can only control what I'm doing with myself, with my body, my money. I'm only in control of me. So I'm not here to say that OnlyFans girls are the spawn of the devil or guys that pay for it are the worst people on earth, because I think there's reasons for everything and I can always see both sides, or at least I always try to see both sides. I think it's important for people in my line of work to be able to kind of put yourself in different people's situations and understand that not everyone sees the world the way that you do. And that's okay. And when you can see it from multiple perspectives and get, you know, different sides, it makes you more intelligent. You learn more. You're willing to grow and be accepting of other people and to understand that not everyone has to be exactly like you in order for the world to go on. So the issue that I have with this from a woman's point of view is that I think is portrayed in a way that is not reality. There's girls that are full-blown prostitutes that are pretending that they're making their money from posting lingerie photos. And I'm sorry, but that's just simply most of the case not what's happening. And I think it gives all these other girls a distorted image of what OnlyFans is or what sex work is. I even have friends, guy friends that, have gone to the strip clubs for bachelor parties, and they tell me that one of the guys ended up having sex with the stripper. Like, it's just like this girl is saying, like, how far will you go? And if someone's offering you $5,000 to do this instead of posting what you normally post, you're gonna think about it because you're already halfway there. So I think it can be a very dangerous thing. And a positive I will say about OnlyFans in comparison to, being a stripper or being a prostitute like in person is that you can kind of control what you do. You can control your body. So I do think it's a safer option for women who are in sex work to do things virtually and do things online. I think it's safer than being in person because of the STDs that come along, the sexually transmitted diseases, the fact that people are crazy and you can't trust anyone. You never know what someone's intentions are. I will say I think OnlyFans is a safer option for girls in sex work that are going to do that anyway. But the problem I have is the girls from all these young girls from the outside looking in that see all these girls on OnlyFans posting pictures in Tulum or Turks and Caicos, and they have all these luxury bags and they live in this luxury apartment and they drive a nice car and they have all this amazing stuff and they're portraying this luxurious lifestyle that came with the quick money they made from OnlyFans, but they aren't being honest a lot of the time about what it took to get there. Only the top percentage of OnlyFans creators are making that amount. So all these young girls are getting sucked into it and thinking that they can have that too when it's really not reality. And it's such a temporary job too. Think about all the new people and the new creators that are constantly going on the app. The guys aren't going to pay for the 60-year-old the same way they're going to pay for the 25-year-old. So there's always going to be new girls coming in, and I think something that girls that are doing it need to realize is that if you're doing that, it should be, I'm not trying to condone it, I'm trying to understand both sides. I get why the girls do it. It's easy money. I mean, I'm sitting here making videos, putting all this time into this when I could just take a picture of my butt cheeks in 2 seconds and post it online and make $1,000 in an hour. You don't have to work hard. It's not hard to post pictures of your butt crack. It's not hard to post a video in a cute lingerie outfit if you have a nice body and you look good. If you're naturally beautiful, I understand why women are capitalizing on that. But I think there are a lot of negatives that come along with it too that are not talked about enough. Because if people disagree with it, you are misogynistic or you're a pick-me girl. And that's not the case at all. I'm genuinely concerned for women who do that because I think that it can be very detrimental not only to your mental health and the constant validation and attention you're getting, but also for your future. If you have no career path and you're just doing sex work and you plan on doing that your entire life, it might not last forever. I think it's a very temporary industry that is good for a temporary time for you to get on your feet and get into something else, or use that money. If you're if you're making a ton of money right now, invest that in a mutual fund. Get an investment portfolio going and build your wealth with your temporary money that you're making. But that's not what's happening. Most girls aren't doing that. Most girls are making all this money and they're living above their means. They're buying a nice apartment, they're buying a nice car, they're buying all these designer handbags, they're getting body contouring, lip filler, whatever it is, and they're blowing all their money for a job that's temporary. The one Fresh and Fit podcast episode that I have watched was the one with the 2 girls from OnlyFans and the roommates. And the banter between Hafiz and the OnlyFans girl was one of the most enlightening 20 minutes of my life to watch, because these girls didn't get it. And they're not confident and secure in what they're doing, so then when you disagree with it, they get offended. And let me tell you something. If you are confident in yourself and what you're doing, and you've got it going on, you're secure in yourself, you're confident, you don't get offended when someone doesn't agree with what you're doing, right? So that just goes to show, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but it was so obvious to me that they were not confident in what they were doing because they got so offended about it. If someone said to me, "Oh, YouTube is such a crappy job, you're a loser," I would laugh. I wouldn't be offended. I love this job. I love what I do. I'm confident and secure in who I am and what I'm doing. So nothing anyone could say would offend me. I think there is not enough light shed on the fact that it can be a very negative thing. And another thing to consider, if you understand that OnlyFans and sex work and whatever you're doing is a temporary thing, and you want to end up doing something else, you don't think the job you apply for, the executive position, is going to see that you had an OnlyFans? Because I can promise you that they will. And it might affect if you get hired or not. And I would say for the most part, they're not gonna hire you. Most good companies to work for do a background check. So all these girls that are, doing OnlyFans as a side hustle while they're, fresh out of high school or in college, and, they're gonna go apply for a marketing position at a top-level corporate company, that corporate company is going to run a background check and see the photos of your butt cheeks online. And they're probably going to choose a different candidate over you, even though you are more than qualified because you did OnlyFans. And I'm not saying every company is going to do that, but I have also seen a lot of videos where the guys that do the background checks have to tell the company, you can't hire her because she has naked photos and naked videos online. It can be very detrimental to your future and something that more people should be talking about. And it makes me sad, not because of what these girls are doing, that's their business, but I think it can really affect you negatively long term. And on the contrary, same with guys. I'm not judging you for how you spend your money. I spend my money on questionable things. I get my nails done every month. I get my hair done. I spend a good amount of money on things that I like and things that I enjoy. I go to the movies. I spend money on entertainment. And ultimately, OnlyFans is a form of entertainment. So I understand, why you're spending your money, especially if you're a guy who is lonely. You're dying for that companionship and to feel like you're talking to someone even though it's fake. I get it. I can see both sides. I understand. But think of where you would get if instead of investing your time and money into something that's fake and made up, you invested your time and money into things that were bettering you instead of making you worse. Instead of spending your money on OnlyFans and getting down the rabbit hole of porn and just the sex industry in general and getting addicted and just losing yourself in that, you would be so much better off going to the gym, bettering yourself, developing real genuine connections with people in real life rather than people who automatically accept you online for who you are, even though they don't know you and don't care what you're like. You don't want to pay for a gym membership, but you pay for OnlyFans. You don't want to, get your mental health right, but you're addicted to pornography. Think of how much happier and how much better your life would be if you just shift your energy towards things that make you better instead of things that are keeping you down. And everyone's situation looks different. Not everyone is addicted to porn. Some people like to support creators and whatever it is. But you have to be working on yourself in real life rather than living your life virtually, giving all your money to people who don't care about you. So again, I'm not going to sit here and judge the guys who are spending their money on that. It's your money. You want to waste your money? Go ahead. It's not my money. I don't care. I'll tell you right now, I won't be spending my money on that or taking your money for that kind of thing. My content is free, and for the people who like to compare, when I did that OnlyFans video, I got some people commenting like, "You're no better than an OnlyFans girl." Really? Because my content is free, I'm helping men better themselves physically, mentally, and emotionally, and not ruin their lives. So I would argue that my content is a little bit different. But thank you for being offended and trying to throw a jab at me because it didn't work. I know I just kind of rambled for 10 minutes or however long it was, but just to wrap it up, I want you guys to understand that there are pros and cons to everything. I can see both sides. As a woman, I can put myself in both situations and understand that it's not for me, but I understand why women do it, and I just wish people were more honest about the reality of it and understand that there's a lot of negative consequences that can come along with doing that. And I just wanted to shed a little bit of light on that because I think a lot of women talk about how it's liberating and empowering, and as a woman, I can't understand that or see that because my morals and values aren't there. Which is fine. I'm not saying my morals and values are better than anyone else's. They're mine. And they're not going there. So ultimately, it's up to you. You choose what you do with your body, how you spend your money. And looking at the guys too, I see why you spend your money on it, but I also see why you shouldn't. And if you just shifted your time and effort and energy in a different way, your life could increase tremendously. Your happiness will go up. Your in-person relationships and connections you can make with people would go up. You could get in physical shape and attract the women that you want instead of having to pay for it online. The issue is that men and women don't want to actually work. Women see this as a quick, easy way to make money, which it is. In the beginning, I would argue that it is. I'm sure it becomes a little more difficult as you do it. I know content creation is a lot of work. People probably think what I do is easy, and it's not. But I think it's a quick way to make money because sex sells. It always has, and it always will. So it's a quick and easy way to make money compared to, working a regular job or whatever it is. I don't know. And then men don't want to better themselves or put in any work for personal development or the way their body looks or their life in general, and they just want to pay a girl to accept them without having to do any of that, which I also understand, but I don't think it's helpful for anybody. I think everyone that is doing those things is ultimately losing. But that's just my 2 cents. What do I know? I'm not on OnlyFans and I'm not a guy paying for it. I'm just on the outside looking in, giving my honest opinion. So I would love to hear from you guys down below what you guys think. I really try to be open and non-judgmental. I want my page to be a place where everyone feels welcome and everyone feels like they can share their insight. And I love to learn. I love to see both sides to things. I never want to come across as a judgmental girl who, isn't open-minded, because that's the last thing I want to be. I love the fact that I'm empathetic and I can see both sides to things and still be authentic and feminine in my true self. Because at the end of the day, if you can see everyone's point of view and still be authentically you, you are winning. So anyways, that's the end of my rant here today about OnlyFans. Again, would love to hear from you guys down below in the comments what you think the pros and cons are. If you've experienced this, if you're someone who's paid for OnlyFans or you're a girl who's done OnlyFans, I would just really love to hear from all of you guys down below. I think it's really helpful for other people to hear your side of the story and just kind of get a conversation going. So if you liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there as well, and it's free, which is the best part of it all. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.